This guy right here might just have the most deranged Steam Deck review I've ever seen in all of YouTube. So let me show you guys what I mean. Meet Expert Review Zone, also known as Daniel, but you might as well call him Flip-Flops because his opinions flip-flop back and forth so much with every new gadget he gets. Take a look at his channel. Literally 2 days ago, you can see that he made a video called Why You Should Buy the M3 MacBook Pro Now. Here's why. Literally just 23 hours ago, as I record this video, he says why I regret buying the M3 MacBook Pro. Don't make this mistake. And then the thumbnail says do not buy. Seriously? You're telling your viewers 2 days ago that they should buy the M3 MacBook Pro. And then a day later, you're telling them not to buy it. Anyways, let's go to his most popular video titled Why I Regret Buying the Steam Deck. As you can see, there's a lot more dislikes than likes. I wonder why that is. Going into the video, he starts it off by saying he regrets buying the Steam Deck. Because he was vacationing around Asia, he wanted to buy the Steam Deck to have a portable gaming device with him.
Now, I originally bought the Steam Deck because I'm planning to do some traveling around Asia.
Because he needed a portable device that played PC games that his Switch couldn't play, the Steam Deck appeared to check all of the boxes. But when he gets out his Switch Lite, this is where his entire review goes downhill, fast. His first complaint about the Steam Deck is about its size, in which, when he takes it out of the case, he doesn't even use the provided pull tab to take it out, so okay. But here, he mentions that he doesn't want to jam the Steam Deck into his backpack, which he will talk about in depth in a few short minutes. Also, take a look at the way he treats his devices. Notice how when he gets his Switch Lite out, he says, I can just chuck this into my backpack.
When I can just chuck this into my backpack.
And I don't know about you, but to me, that seems awfully irresponsible considering this is devices that you're paying with your hard-earned money. When he's comparing the weight between the Switch Lite and the Steam Deck, I guarantee you that this is where most people click the dislike button, and here's why. His way of approving the weight of any handheld device is by putting it onto his index finger to see if he can one finger the thing. That's, with all due respect, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of. He drops the Switch Lite straight onto the screen of the Steam Deck. I mean, this guy couldn't even bother just to move the Steam Deck out of the way before doing this. Not that you should even do this to begin with. So getting out his backpack, he begins to compare the size of the Steam Deck in all sorts of configurations within his backpack, which he determines to be 1/3 of his backpack.
And I put it next to my backpack. It's actually very big compared to my backpack. It's like a third. This way, horizontally, it's a third of the size of my backpack. And then vertically, it is 1 to a third of the vertical length of my backpack.
So no matter how he puts the Steam Deck and its carrying case inside of his backpack, he knows that it will always take up 1/3 of the space available. And that's a problem for him.
And the reason why it's kind of silly to buy the most expensive version of the Steam Deck for the storage is because you can actually put in an SD card.
Okay, this is one of his more reasonable takes on the Steam Deck. I guarantee you many people bought the 64GB version, then they upgraded the storage capacity through a micro SD card. That's a good idea if you're not looking for the anti-glare screen or the custom carrying case. And if you weren't ready for the review to go further downhill, it's about to get much worse.
I don't know why you would want to be playing so many hardcore PC games when you're traveling. For example, I'm going to go to Thailand in October. Am I really going to be sitting around at home playing video games all day when I should be exploring the country, seeing what it's all about, enjoying the food and the people and the culture?
Don't you think if you're sitting around wondering if you should be playing video games on a vacation, that something might be wrong personally and that this isn't a problem with the device itself?
I'm going to have to decide not to bring it with me to Thailand.
And there you go, he says he won't even bring the Steam Deck, so why complain about the Steam Deck being with you on your trip to Asia if you're not even going to bring your Steam Deck? It just doesn't make sense. With this guy's logic, you might as well say, let's not bring our cell phones because instead of spending time enjoying the country, let's just spend our time on social media and not take in the sights and sounds of the new country we're in. And when he begins talking about his Switch Lite, he decides that, no, Even the Switch Lite would be too much because he doesn't plan to play video games at all.
And I think I'll just go with the Switch Lite. I might not even bring the Switch Lite, to be honest, because I'm not actually playing a lot of video games these days. Also, again, the battery life, I'm not really that impressed with it. It lasts about an hour, and I don't know anyone who only plays games for an hour.
Yeah, I don't know who else would only play video games for an hour. I don't know. People that maybe have a job or children or maybe have other obligations to do throughout their day. Yeah, gosh, I can't tell you who might only have an hour to play.
The big one plugged into the Steam Deck whilst playing Hitman 3 for hours and hours. This thing drained so quickly. It drained my battery bank in about 3 hours. You got 1 hour from the Steam Deck's battery and then 3 additional hours from this big fat battery bank.
As for his complaints with the power bank, didn't he say he doesn't even want to play video games on a vacation? So what's the difference is this even going to make if you're not even going to play video games at all? But yeah, the external power bank and the Steam Deck is a no-go for him because combined, it's too heavy. And that goes against his idea of traveling light with his backpack. And because travel is inherently stressful, that, in his eyes, makes the Steam Deck worthless. He makes it sound as if he's being involuntarily made to fly a plane when he made this decision to go over to Thailand for vacation.
For example, when you're traveling in airports and you're on planes, you're usually very tired and stressed out because it's not really the kind of atmosphere or environments that you want to sit back, relax, and have a good time playing video games. I kind of made a mistake buying this for the purposes of traveling and gaming at the same time.
So basically, Daniel's review of the Steam Deck is highly negative and critical. Why? Because of his own personal reasons. He likes to travel light. The Steam Deck isn't light, so he doesn't like it. Traveling is inherently stressful, so he won't even bother to play video games at all. And for that matter, if you're going on vacation, why even play video games? Shouldn't you be exploring the country you're visiting? The battery isn't good. You can't one finger the thing, whatever that's supposed to mean. As you guys can see, this may as well be the most deranged Steam Deck review. Obviously, of course this device has its own pros and cons. I myself have a few problems with my own Steam Deck, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily void and that you shouldn't play with it. It appears that this man's personal problems has merged itself with his views on the Steam Deck. But as a 30-something-year-old guy who sits in his room all day filling his empty time with video games, is it really worth it being bitter over everything he does? He switches his opinions so much on everything, it's hard to believe that he's even satisfied with anything. So yeah, he kinda made a mistake buying the Steam Deck, and well, because of his personal reasons such as it's too heavy, it takes a third of his backpack up, he doesn't want to play video games on a vacation, they're a waste of time when he has nothing better to do. Well, lucky for you, he mentions near the end of the video that he was looking to sell it perhaps on eBay. You know, the same one that had a Switch Lite dropped on it. Don't forget that if you buy it, buyer beware.